Three,
You will start
two,
speaking.
1, and it's kickoff time. This is the semi-finals match of TIAB against our opponents, Setsuku and his teammates, Galarian Rapides. Did I get it right, Evan?
Yes, correct. So now we are in team preview. We are in their perspective because our bot couldn't work well. So this is game 1. And what do you see here? Like, what do you see in the player 1 and player 2 slot?
Yeah, so over here, we see that there's the Lipart and the Ferromosa, and those aren't very offensive mons for the player 1 side.
Player 2.
Oh, player 2 side. Okay, actually I need to pause right here. Okay, let's just pause right here. Yeah, so in team preview, we see that there are 4 mons who would love to have a sash, which is the Lipart, Ferromosa on the player 2 slot, while the player 1 slot there's the Jinx and the Urshifu. For them to have selected Dialga to be the player 1 slot, that means they are threatening the turn 1 Dynamax and just start to pick up KOs or boosting with Steel Spike and Max Quick Boost. The issue that we were discussing during our discussions before this game, we were thinking that how do we prep for a team that has so many shenanigans going for them, because in our regular season, if you would like to call it, they went for Yon, even the Lipart had Yon, and the week before that they had Iron Ball on the Lipart. They could trick our Zapdos, and the Dialga could just go for a Max Quick. So there's so many variables that was going against us, which is why we decided that Wigglytuff with its freeze ability would be so good going to this matchup. Especially since it's the best of 3, we bring it into game 1 just to scout out the items, gain information, and we work from there.
Yeah, well said. I think we can continue the video from here. This is where we decided to go with our game plan. So we came in knowing that we have to lead our Sneasel to threaten a fake out onto their Lipart, since Sneasel is faster than the Lipart. Then we lead with Zapdos just in case we might have to Dynamax on turn 1. However, in our game 1 game plan, like Hakim said just now, we intended to hard switch our Zapdos. If they brought the Gotorita, then we would vote switch. However, we don't see it here in team preview. That's very interesting. So we don't see Gotorita and Moltres. Moltres Kanto, the fire one. So our game plan was to hard switch to Wigglytuff, hopefully wasting their max and then getting the frisk and finding out important information. There are some spoilers here, like we already know there are items going forward, so it's also useful to see how they approach the game from their perspective. And yeah, we're approaching the kickoff.
Let's go. And it's kickoff with our team playing Italia, managed by Roberto Victini. Here we go. Yeah, is it Insigne? It's one of the star players of Italy. Alongside
and Chiesa. Yeah, so the Ferromosa and the Jinx lead is something that we did not expect, but we kind of guessed that the Jinx might go for Lovely Kiss, and we are kind of accepting the fact that they are going to go for it, right?
Correct. And at the same time, Ferromosa was running Choice Scarf in their previous week, so we were having to prep for that as well. But in hindsight, they didn't need to be super fast since our team no one could outspeed the Ferromosa. So yeah, here we totally discounted the fact that they could run Quick Guard, honestly. As you can see from the screen, they did click Quick Guard, and that did catch us off guard. But our plan was to always just switch in to find out the item on Jinx and Ferromosa so that we can understand what they are going for.
Yeah, at the same time, we didn't go for fake out here because we just had to go for IC Ring because they would kind of fear our fake out and then might play defensively. So at least we get to find out that they have Quick Guard on this turn. Yeah, so the freeze showed both the items. It's actually White Guard on the Jinx, clearly showing that they want to go for that Lovely Kiss all the way. and then the sash on the Pheromosa is also very important information. Right, the sash, like you said just now in team preview, it eliminates the fact that Urshifu can have a sash, Liepard can have a sash, and even Jinx, yeah.
Yeah. So like once we saw that, we almost locked in that the Urshifu is likely gonna be banned. And which other mon? Even the Ditto.
There was Jinx, yeah. Yeah, so it's basically Liepard, Ditto, Pheromosa, Jinx, right? That won the sash.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here
over
is
here,
kind of a
since we
dead
took-
turn. Yeah, here is kind of a
correct.
passive turn. So we weren't sure what they were gonna go for. Like they want to pick up the KO on Sneasel.
Yeah, we are gonna just stay in, right? We cannot switch our mons like anyhow because they were just gonna keep clicking Lovely Kiss. And here we just go for the taunt onto the Jinx, right?
Yeah.
So this kind of confirms that it is oblivious and not dry skin. So
Yeah,
I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay for us not to risk it and then just go for the taunt straight away to check, so that in the end game Dracovic can try and fishes rend everyone, not having to worry. Yeah, this pickpocket is quite interesting.
Yeah. So over there we may have unveiled our information, so that could entice them to fake us out in the coming games, but we took the chance of running pickpocket because it could go a long way if they didn't check us, especially since they have a Ditto.
True, and also like we always threaten that fake out, so I was thinking we don't really need inner focus, and I think this pickpocket kind of paid dividends towards the later games, and we will mention later. Then the U-turn is smart. I think switching out into the Liepard, always maintaining this pressure of Amon being fast, since we already lowered the Pheromosa speed. So now I think Sneasel still has to take a turn of sleep, and then our unfortunate Wigglytuff, I think it took 1 or 2 turns of sleep already.
But actually over here, when they swap into the Liepard, where they could have swapped in to the Dialga, I believe, then just pressuring. So switching into the
Dialga is
Liepard.
behind. Yeah, the Dialga is behind the Jinx. So
they could. Okay.
Yeah, they could also hard switch the Jinx right into the Dialga, knowing that we gave them a -1 speed. Yeah.
So it's just that they have only a few mons that can Dynamax and hit us very hard. Besides
correct.
the other mons are just very support mons, and they don't deal that much damage. So as you see, like here, the Liepard having to click foul play into mons that resist type moves, but of course they are at low health, so you just do cheap damage.
Yeah, you have a very good point on your end, saying like only possibly Dialga, then to some extent Pheromosa and Urshifu, the mons that will do all the heavy damage. Then the rest of the mons are I would say shenanigan mons, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Having these two mons on the field, like this seems to be very passive, and it's very reminiscent of the time we played our match during the regular season with them, right? So if they have passive one on the field, then we don't switch out. We just let them do whatever they want. Make sure then we try and burn our turns of sleep. If we are lucky, then we might wake up. Our Wigglytuff kept either Dazzling Gleam or Thunder Wave. So if we can manage to get the Thunder Wave on Jinx, this will be very good, since our Sandaconda can outspeed the Jinx on this turn. Yeah, on this turn the Sandaconda cannot Dynamax when we switch in. Yeah, so that's quite unfortunate for them, like taking out the Sneasel on the previous turn.
Yeah, I mean it was good on them if they really had that planned out, and at the same time now they are threatening the Lovely Kiss, which puts us on a back foot.
Yeah,
but I think
I said it wrongly. We could Dynamax the Sandaconda this turn.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. But then we had to take the sleep, which which would be bad.
Yeah, so we had two choices, either to like sort of max guard, right, or protect. But if we protect, then next turn we can't protect, and they still threaten that sleep on us. So my decision there was to just go for the max guard, since this is just game one.
Not max guard, right? I think we just decided to go for something.
I meant go for the Dynamax.
Yeah.
Then since this is just game 1, then we want to scout as much information as possible. Then let's just let them do whatever move they want into us. If they want to keep spamming sleep, then so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we, just want to take the turn of sleep because we could always just wake up turn 1 and Wigglytuff took the third turn of sleep.
Yeah.
Not going our way, but we said it's only game 1. Let's just learn as much as we can. And looking at the board position, they just want to put our mons to sleep. They are not, riding the momentum to switch into something. And being faster, they put us to sleep. They are always risking that turn 1 wake up, and they are not gonna appreciate any max quick. So
Well said.
in some sense, that is the downside of going for sleep turns. Yeah, you put us to sleep, but we could wake up anytime. So it's on you to choose, the risk it.
Yeah, over here I just went for the skill spike. Like there's nothing for me to lose, correct? So my Sandaconda just went for skill spike, and wow, this is a +4. Sorry, a -4 special defense, ice beam, and we actually survived it. That was clutch.
With the Yache berry, so that item choice really paid dividends, and we wake up turn 1. So this is what I mean when we take that first turn of sleep. They have RNG on their side with the with the inaccuracies. For our end, we have the RNG to turn to wake up on the first turn, whereas it went against us for Wigglytuff, and now we know Wigglytuff also will wake up.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so now this Thunder Wave is useful, right? Like we go for just a Hail Mary Thunder Wave. All the time we had Quick Claw, hoping for the Quick Claw to proc. Like if the Quick Claw proc and then he went for Thunder Wave into because if the Quick Claw proc, it will wake up. Then you'll go for Thunder Wave into Jinx, right? And then the Sandaconda will also wake up and go for the max quick after that. Yeah, not even having to take that damage from Ice Beam.
Yeah.
But on hindsight, it will be cool. Like we already found out that actually we can survive a -4 Ice Beam. So it's still good information either way. Yeah, based on how all these turns played out.
Yeah, so here we were really hoping for the Quick Claw to activate, so that the Dazzling Gleam could pick up the Urshifu. Knowing, so this is where having the information of where the sash is was so important in our, fairy type move choices in, I think, 2 of our months. Yeah, which a lot of credit to Evan for, putting both Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast on our 2 C tier picks, which they did really well for us, which you will see coming in later game.
Yeah, so if we really got the Quick Claw, right, it was always 20% chance for us to sort of like do so well in this game. Like if we ever proc the Quick Claw and get this Dazzling Gleam, then there goes the Urshifu. But unfortunately this didn't happen. Then this makes sense. Like we since it's choice band, right, then the close combat should do good damage into our Wigglytuff, despite the Wigglytuff being at max HP. Yeah, and this we outspeed the see, that's so good.
Yeah, so for their team, they didn't go for any shenanigans, and here we get the RNG on our side, and we take those. Just
correct.
That.
Yeah, in hindsight, I think this was a very good turn because I think that the Liepard was threatening that foul play. We didn't go for a priority move, so Sandaconda might go down. We might not. We are at max HP, and we would be at +1 defense, so I think we could actually survive that foul play. Yeah, this Victini switching is very important for us since we EV'd our Victini to outspeed an Urshifu.
Yep. And just now, as we saw that the Sandaconda going first before the Liepard, the paralyzed Liepard, despite us being brave nature, we still were able to outspeed the Liepard. Right now, we threatened a double KO onto their team. So just like I mentioned, we had Mushana and Wigglytuff with fairy moves. Now we add on Victini has Dazzling Gleam. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I think important point was over there. You mentioned that the Sandaconda, we realized, oh my gosh, it outspeeds the Liepard because based on if the Liepard was max speed, then the Sandaconda wouldn't outspeed. So there's a very important clue there. And then we kind of learn that the Lipat, we can guess and deduce that the Lipat is a bulky set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like that hard switch to conserve our numbers, right, our mons. And at the same time, if the Dialga threatens to go Trick Room, then we have Sandaconda in the back to attack the Dialga. So I think this Dracovish switch, on hindsight, it was very good for us.
Yeah, so over here, maybe you say first.
I was saying that the sand turns are running out. That's the reason why I decided to swap so that Dracovish will always move first for like a couple more turns. Then if they like try to set up Trick Room, and additionally they haven't maxed yet, so this Dynamax Dialga seems to be a huge threat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a point to note here is we don't have any quick boost on the field. Our Dynamax has finished while they are threatening 3 turns of max with a Dialga fresh from the back. But
yeah, and then we also pay attention to the Dynamax factor. So just so happens that at this turn, the Dialga couldn't Dynamax. Therefore, I think it was safe for us to just go for Stomping Tantrum into the Dialga, and then we were confident with our Dazzling Gleam on the Victini, so we want to click it to eliminate the Lipa as soon as possible.
We were calling him to go Trick Room, I think. Oh no, we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't. Okay. Yeah, just deal damage because he may not have ran Protect, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I think it kind of makes sense that he wants to go Trick Room since he knows that our Dracovish is Sand Rush. Yeah. So that was good with damage into the Dialga. Yeah.
But as per our regular season match, they set up Trick Room for us and it went our way. So when we saw him clicking Trick Room and we have the Sandaconda still at the back, we were like, okay, we are not in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's so interesting, right? Like on hindsight, then why don't they just click like their dragon move into our
Dracovish, right?
Dracovish to take the quick KO, knowing that the Sandaconda is in the back, and then the Dialga can outspeed the Sandaconda, right? So a bit careless for them to go Trick Room. Over here, you see they switching their Ditto to kind of scout our Victini set. I think they are kind of forced to switch into the Ditto since they set up Trick Room because behind the Ditto is a Pheromosa. So this Trick Room is really, really very questionable. So hopefully, yeah, like in a sense that it really works out in our favor, and I'm very happy that I made the decision to switch that Sandaconda out to keep it safe in the back to always threaten the Dialga. Right now, this Dialga needs to take 3 full turns to make full use of his Dynamax, because if he accidentally kills my Dracovish, then the Sandaconda comes in to threaten that high horsepower onto the Dialga, and this Dialga is at sort of at 50% health right now. Yeah, I
think over here we were.
I timed out.
Okay, over here, yeah, we timed out, but at the same time, we were like, okay, we need to think turns ahead. How do we stall these Dynamax? We have Protect on both Dracovish and Victini, and this is the last turn of Sand. Once this Sand turn expires, Dracovish will be going first in Trick Room. So, unfortunate that we timed out, but I think they targeted wrongly.
Correct. I think they might be calling the Dracovish to go for Protect. So somehow they think that the Victini is the bigger threat, not knowing like that behind our Victini is a Zapdos. Yeah, it could be Zapdos or Mushana. So interesting targeting there. Yeah, and it kind of worked in our favor. Then that's so important also because right now the Dracovish like has a fresh Protect. Yeah, that's so unfortunate. If the system let it fishes rain the
Victini, right?
Wouldn't that be so good?
Yeah, we would have been in such a good position if that happened, but it is what it is, and over here.
Then one more thing I want to say is like we were praying. Oh my gosh, we saw the Dazzling Gleam come out, right? Like oh come on, Dracovish survives, and he survived. Wow,
yeah, he survived.
Really clutch, showing that this Ditto didn't have much special attack investment, I would say.
Oh no, Ditto copies our own Victini special attacks. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's the HP stat that it doesn't copy, I think.
Wow, so that means our like Dracovish, the bulk that
Yeah,
we
the
put in,
natural bulk.
came
I think
through.
it's not stab, and yeah,
True, very true.
it's a spread move. So
Yeah, over here I don't really remember what happened. Like we do still have to
here,
sort
yeah,
out
we were
different
still like
combinations.
trying to find out how best can we stall out their max turn. Yeah.
Wow, on hindsight, I'm thinking of something cool like that's happening right now. You know that they are forced to click Wormwind. They could click Quake, like they could maybe if they potentially have Quake. Yeah, but they couldn't click Steel Spike. Um, in fear of not being able to kill our mons because
It's true.
both our mons on the field right now resist steel, correct? Yeah. So now that's like quite important because they only drop attack, which is useless with this Sandaconda switching in fresh, and then they don't boost their own defenses. So in hindsight, I would think they should be more confident with their damage and go for Steel Spike instead to boost their own defenses. Yeah. That is an important turn.
Yeah, this is
I'm
important.
quite
I
happy
think
with
I will let Evan, run through this because we
I
are
really,
3 minutes
I really
down.
appreciated
Yeah.
that you. Yeah, correct. You are 3 minutes down, and I think the number of mons is
It's against us.
um
The HP,
three.
I think.
Yeah,
The HP.
we have 3 mons left. I think they have 4 mons left because they have Dialga. Oh no, they. Oh wow. Yeah. Each team has 3 mons left. Wow, thanks for showing us, Rapides. And I think it seems like their Ditto is at full health, so they seem to have more HP than us. So we kind of do have to take an important KO here. So over here, based on the overheat just now from Victini, it did so much damage into the Dialga, and we forgot to mention that the Dialga is life orb, so it keeps chipping itself down too. So Dialga is getting quite low in health, and it does feel very threatened from Sandaconda's ground move right now, right? So I made the call. I'm thinking this Dialga should protect. I think this is a call that like it had to be made. So I just went straight for the Victini. I went for high horsepower into the Victini, and it paid off.
Yep, it
Yeah.
paid off perfectly because it swung the game into our favor. They were so pinned, and Sandaconda just threatens both sides. And yep,
Yeah, I think we chose the correct target here. You see, if we accidentally targeted the Dialga, thinking that the Dialga is sort of like the bigger threat, then this Victini might get off something like an overheat or I mean the Ditto, might get off an overheat or um, like a dazzling gleam into the Sandaconda. That's quite unlikely. Then additionally, that was the second last turn of Trick Room, so the momentum is clearly in our favor right now.
yep. So over here, it is in our favor.
Yeah, we are up 3 against 2.
Yeah, that KO was so important, and that gave us the impression that the Ditto held a choice item maybe because they didn't click protect.
Yeah.
The time was on their favor. If now we are looking at it in hindsight, time was on their favor. If they had double
If they
protected
click
there,
protect, yeah, true.
they had double protected there, stall out more time, then
Then maybe they could end the game like 3-3, right? Because
correct.
on this last turn of Trick Room, our Sandaconda couldn't get off another move.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
right now we are switching
took
back to
game
our
one.
perspective.
we took
Yeah,
game one.
There are a few stuff that I also want to mention. I think quite interesting, like a lot of interactions. One very important interaction is that we don't have to worry about the high horsepower missing. At first I was afraid of that high horsepower would miss, but I forgot that Victini had victory star, so this high horsepower would definitely kill
That's right.
opposing
That's
Ditto,
right. Exactly.
I totally forgot about it. So right now, based on our rules, we were the ones who won game 1. Like we were slapped at the beginning. We were kind of in the back foot. A lot of our mons were status. However, they did not do the crucial amount of damage that they needed. And then we managed to sort of turn the game around with our lucky sort of turn 1 week from the Sandaconda. And at this point, we had to choose whether we want to switch our slots or not. But I think our lines were quite clear, like the Sneasel Zapdos lead, it could possibly like go for max airstreams into their very passive and very frail leads, right? So we thought, okay, why not just lead Sneasel and Zapdos again and not switch spots? And importantly, on their side, you can see here the Lily is still in the player 1 slot. Player 1 is Kim Nice, Zapdos, and versus the Dialga. So they chose not to switch their slots for this game too.
So for us,
Yeah.
we identified, the where the sash was, what possible items were the Urshifu, the Ditto, that really helped us moving ahead. And we know that they were trying their best to disrupt our flow, just putting things to sleep and stuff. So over here, we decided that maybe let's just go hyper offense, right? Just
Yeah, because we thought, like, I think it might be a bit short-sighted, but we kind of thought that since Jinx is such a huge threat, like it has the white lens, so it's almost always gonna hit the sleep powder, then why not eliminate the Jinx right away? But then I kind of forgot that the Urshifu, like if it's the Urshifu in the back, that's okay, we can airstream it, but the Dialga is in the back, and then our Zapdos doesn't have like all the moves from Zapdos are not super effective into the Dialga, so that might have been a bit short-sighted, so that might be a problem for us.
Yep, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, we were quite happy, like with coming off of the game 1 win, so we were quite hyped going into this. We say this is like the the second half of this football match.
Yep. So
Yeah,
now,
and same leads from them. Yeah, what do you think?
so over here we were thinking maybe they didn't pay attention to our pickpocket. We were thinking, hey,
True.
they may not have seen it, and they will likely not go for the fake out. That was what we were thinking. And we thought, hey, we know where the sash is. Target down where they aren't sash. The only
Went on a
thing
sash.
that was worrying us is if they went for an icy win from the Pheromosa and Lovely Kiss. That was something at the back of our minds, but we were like, they should be more afraid of our fake out. Still,
Yeah, and then go for the quick guard instead, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like there were two choices that the Sneasel could go for. It could go for the fake out, but I think that would be bad because then the Jinx would outspeed the Zapdos. Because we built our Zapdos to be slow, therefore we just chose to go for that Icy Wind, hoping that the Pheromosa does something else instead of Icy Wind.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is a pretty good catch from their end. They kind of realize that we have that pickpocket, but this is quite important. Like if they U-turn us, oh no, we don't lose our sash. So over here we don't.
They did, yeah.
pick
They
up
don't
their
lose their sash. The thing is, they didn't lose their
Yeah.
sash. But here we
Yeah, that's
caught
quite
that they rose in speed, and
Correct.
that was still important to us.
Correct. Yeah, we need to know their beast boost, and that's still good information. Yeah, so this is interesting. They have to switch out. So the question is, who do they switch out, right? If they switch into the Ditto, we prepared like a rock move on Zapdos. Yeah, and then they have Radicant or Lipa in the back. So over here they chose to switch in Ditto. I think we can kind of guess that the last one is Lipa.
Yep.
Yeah,
Here
so
we
they-
eliminated the Jinx, which was a real problem to us in game 1. And I would say we felt quite relieved. I would say more like, okay, one main disruptor out of the way, and they don't have. And when we were planning for this matchup, they don't have many mons to resist max S stream besides the Dialga. So we're like, okay, yeah, this is good.
Then I think on this turn, since Zapdos can max, then the Dialga is in the back, right? Then I think the Dialga can't max. Yeah, because the Dialga is opposite the Zapdos. So I think here, going for that Airstream or the Rock 4 into the other slot, the player 2 slot, should be safe for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
But of course now the issue we are faced with is if the Dialga comes in, they are more than likely going for trick room, and clicking trick room in this scenario would benefit them a lot more, I would say.
Correct. Yeah, so I think that like the time that you saw here, like we were taking the time trying to think whether it's better to switch in Dracovish or the
Sandaconda.
Sandaconda because we know, yeah, because we know that Dialga is just gonna do very good damage, right? Like maybe Draco Meteor or um like Flash Cannon into the Dracovish slot. Since the Zapdos is maxed, I think the Dracovish slot, Dracovish or Sandaconda like it feels very threatened. If the Dialga is able to take 2 KOs, then it might force sort of a 2v1 against our Zapdos slot, and that's quite risky for us.
Yeah. But going into this point of this game right now, we still didn't know that the Dialga was physical or special, because in game 1
True.
they max, and they just went for the max moves only, and it was difficult to identify their set because we protected and they took KOs on our end, so there was no way we could count for what their set was. So we went in here and thinking, let's bait the trick room,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's why we decided to switch in into Sandaconda here.
Yeah, since we know that Sandaconda will always outspeed the Dialga in Trick Room.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't that confident that this Rock 4 might like could kill, but well, to my surprise it killed because I'm modest. Modest makes
and
special.
of course D is super effective. That's number 2, and D2 is quite a low HP stat that, yeah. And here they showed Thunderbolt, and we're like, okay, it's special. It's not the worst scenario at all for us, because the worst scenario that we were planning for is the physical set, which yeah, just totally.
Yeah, because the physical Dialga carries Rock Slide, and then that like with the possible Screech from Lipa, it could go for Rock Slide into like max Rock 4 into our Zapdos, taking
Yeah.
an easy KO.
Because
Yeah,
there's
over here, I
nothing
think
else. Yeah, that
Yeah, I
can
think
kill
there was a
Zapdos.
bit of like short-sightedness here from my end. I thought that I was quite confident that with the bulk we gave on our Zapdos, quite a lot of bulk in HP, we could survive any move from a Dialga with Life Orb.
But they went for fake tears, is it? No. Or they went
Correct,
for
yeah.
fake.
This is the turn. This is the turn they went for fake tears into um, Zapdos and next Wormwind. Yeah, so there's one possible play they could do, which is to easily fake out the Sandaconda, right? Try and eliminate that slot, and then go for like max Steel Spike or max Wormwind into the
I
Sandaconda
think
slot.
here we went passive and just
Yeah.
thought that Sandaconda proved to be a threat to them in game
Correct.
1. So our call was that they're gonna gun down the Sandaconda right here.
Correct, yeah, it's
once
so
they take it down.
vulnerable. Like
Correct.
if you fake out and if you won't win, then that's it for the Sandaconda. And additionally, the Zapdos doesn't prove much of a threat, right? At most it takes out the Liepard, but it cannot even do damage into the Dialga. So this is the call. Yeah, this is the call we made. Unfortunately, didn't go in our favor.
Yeah. So here they revealed fake tears, and we were like, oh, this.
Yeah, so yeah, we were able to take this 1 KO and force the 2v1 against the Dialga, but at what cost? Like our very big, like they called it right. The Sandaconda didn't do anything, and then they managed to kill our important, like our Zapdos. I think the Zapdos kind of did its job though. 3 turns of Dynamax, taking 3 important KOs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
The numbers are still in our favor, I think.
I mean, Zapdos was never gonna be, fighting the Dialga.
Dialga. Yeah.
So on our end, it was still important analysis that we need to preserve our Sandaconda. I don't know whether it was a call on them or they were just going straight like, hey, we can pick up a KO on Zapdos right here. Why not do it? But for us, the way we thought was, if they pick up the KO on Sandaconda, at that instance we would have been in a much more tougher position to deal as much damage as we can to the Dialga.
Yeah, correct. I think it's just the safer play to go for, and I think we just went for it. I don't think I have many regrets there.
Yeah.
But from here we can see that we are up 4
Mhm.
against 3 because we took out 3. Well, I think we are 4-2. Because we took
Yeah.
out the Jinx and we took out all 3 months
Oh
from.
yeah, I think they had the Feramosa. They still have Feramosa.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So over
It's still
here,
4-3.
we were really discussing how do we, again, it's always about how do we you know, restrict their max moves from being fully utilized.
True.
So we bring in the Victini. We know that it only has Steel Spike, Dragon Move, and Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it can't do much to our Victini. But here we thought, oh no, they're gonna target the Sandaconda. So
Correct.
we're gonna be in a tough spot. So Victini, I think here
We went for Dazzling Gleam because we know it could
no, I
cheat
think
the.
we
Yeah, let's see what we do.
yeah.
Because I think if we take out this Feramosa, right, and we know that the
Yeah, we know we look at the sentence and we're like, okay, we managed to hit damage right here.
Correct.
Any damage, Feramosa would go down. For the
Correct.
sand, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4-3. Right now it's 4-3.
Correct. Yeah. So if we take one more kill, then we can force the 2v1 against the Dialga slot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So over here, I just went for the double protect on the Sandaconda. If we get it, we survive another turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we stall out one more turn of Dynamax, but unfortunately we don't get it.
Yeah, so here they
And-
revealed their IC win and we were like, oh,
Yeah, that poses some questions, right? Whether this Pheromosa is a physical or special set, since
Yeah.
it has both IC Win and U-turn, and we don't know the last move.
so here
Because we only
Victini went first, and we were like, hey, Dialga speed step is nothing too far from Victini, right? And after being at -1 and we still going first, I think that gave us a good indication that Dialga might have been zero speed as well,
that
and
makes
which
sense.
gives our decision to make Sandaconda Brave Nature even even more worthwhile.
Yeah, it is very strange though. I'm not sure why they are doing this because it's so clear that the Sandaconda slot is so weak to
Dragon move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
To,
there's
to,
no
to
switching
the,
it. They could have gotten 2 KOs over there.
Yeah. So that's a very weird
Yeah,
kind of weird
we felt
budgeting on their
weird
end.
because they're giving us chances to imagine we didn't protect for those
Correct.
2 turns. We just went for high
High
horsepower.
horsepower.
I mean, I do get that they keep clicking maximum win, meaning our attack drops, but damage is
Mhm.
still damage. We would have chipped them down, and I think as we progress with the games, you would see what we mean by if we had click those 2 high horsepower,
Correct.
it would have
Mhm.
been
Correct,
a
correct.
quicker round of finishing.
Yeah, and we are always up mons because we have 4v3 and now we still have 3v2. Yeah, like we keep trading KOs, making sure that the Pheromosa, Lipat and Ditto slot is dead. And now like Dialga is only left with 2 mons on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
over
Dialga
here,
is faster than both our mons right now. Although
correct.
it's a 2v1 situation, but it's the last turn of max. We know
The
that
Sandaconda is
whoever
at -2.
yeah.
The Sandaconda is at -2. I think this was quite bad for us. I think they, in a sense, they made 2 pretty good reads. That our Sandaconda would play defensive, and I think it paid off for them. Then now we really have to go on the defense. Then for myself, I was controlling the Sandaconda, so I was considering. I think we might have to switch out to try and reset this these attack drops so that Sandaconda can come in to threaten the Dialga after the Dialga ends the Dynamax.
Yeah, so here, we just had to hope they want to make it into a 1v1 situation and just go for the protect on Wigglytuff to survive a potential max steel spike, because they know that is Sandaconda and Djokovic on the same side. So going for this max steal spike makes a lot of sense to boost his defenses up.
True. Yeah, over here we are kind of in the back foot since this Dialga seems to be set up right with +1 defense.
Plus
Then-
one, and just taking 2 or 3 life orb chips, while we didn't get any damage on it.
Correct. And also the Djokovic can at most threaten with stopping tantrum instead of like Fisher's Brand. Fisher's Brand won't do as much despite the Djokovic going first. And we know that the Sandaconda is in the back. Sandaconda doesn't have a very good special defense stat, and we built our Sandaconda to be slower than the Dialga.
Yeah, so here we were just thinking that, come on, maybe just get the quick claw activated, go for some full para, because we really
that's
need
like
that.
the one last thing that the Wigglytuff can do before it goes down, right?
Yep.
Then and additionally this Dialga has a choice. He needs to target either one Mon, right? Because both Mons are sort of threatening with good moves. But unfortunately we didn't get the quick claw proc. That's quite sad.
Yeah. But it makes sense if they are targeting here, because they didn't need to go have the special attack drops with Draco Meteor. Yeah, I mean, we were still thinking, Raw of Time or Draco Meteor. It was still up for debate at this point. And now the Sandstorm finishes. We thought that maybe the Dialga would go first. But I think now that after we analyze, the Dialga probably was mean
Like
speed.
Slow,
It's a mean speed Dialga. We probably would outspeed it outside of trick room.
Yeah, I think what's important is if we ever got that Thunder Wave off, then we can kind of let
Sandaconda,
let Djokovic go down, then get Sandaconda to go for the high horsepower. It should be able to take out the Dialga at this range. If it keeps chipping itself down to life orb, then here I had two choices. Either to go for pumping tension to try and chip a little bit more, or since we know that it's gonna go with a dragon move, then go for Rock Tomb. Yeah, but I think here I protect first because we want to try and stall the time. Because we should have more HP.
Yeah, more HP
right
exactly.
now. Then if we are able to reach that end goal of the 20-minute timer, then maybe we can win by HP count.
Here, we know that the Draco Meteor will OHKO both Djokovic and Sandaconda, so we could not switch to get a Mon advantage and stuff. We could not do that. And here, this is where I'm saying, because they allow us to get too high horsepower by not targeting our Sandaconda. So imagine those two high horsepowers had connected. Then that Stomping Tantrum onto the Dialga would definitely have taken them out, and we would have been 2-1 up, assuming it's a Shifu at the back. It might not take a KO on us as well. So yeah.
I like this switch between the Sandaconda and Djokovic. It's very interesting. Then if the Shifu is kind of like maybe it's banded, then it's locked into the move. We let the Shifu
get a sense speed. Yeah.
That's fine. Yes, then it sets the send, then Djokovic comes in, and then we can Fisher's Brand the kill. So just now, you're right. That all that like damage onto the Dialga could have paid dividends.
Yeah. So here they missed. We're like, okay. Then we saw the timer, and now we're like, here maybe we didn't keep track of the time that well. We were just thinking maybe if we crit this Stomping Tantrum, we will have a chance.
There was actually two discussions right now with us and Andrew. The discussion is, since we went for a Rock Tomb, we reviewed Rock Tomb, lowering the Dialga speed for our Sandaconda to outspeed, right, outside of Trick Room, but we didn't really consider that the Dialga would has the chance to go for Trick Room here, right?
This time,
it seems quite clear that we want to protect, to try and stall the
Mhm.
time as possible, as much as possible. But Andrew says, oh no, what if they call our protect and they go for trick room? Then that will be horrible for us.
Yeah, but in the midst of that discussion, we totally forgot that maybe timer was, you know, our win
That's
con.
true.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true. That was the 2 min timer was on screen, right?
yeah. So
Yeah. So if we
we were
protected, he would
calling. Yeah, it was just a wrong call on our end. You know, we wanted to we wanted to call them clicking trick room, but now that we analyze it, it makes little sense because they could. Why click trick room when you can get a KO, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh. And at this point, like looking back at the game, I took my time. Like we saw the 2 minutes on
Yeah,
the screen.
exactly. Yeah.
So if I quickly switch in my Sandaconda here and take this KO, then we should be able to like protect from the Urshifu that comes in.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like,
but
like
over here we knew
store,
already
yeah.
that we will lose on one counts because they will just
Correct.
switch into the Urshifu, take the hit, and they will be winning by 2-1. So
Yeah.
at this point we thought, oh, we should have just clicked protect because with all the animations, even if they click trick room, if all the animations, I think we could
True.
have stopped. We could have just won. Yeah, a clean 2-0.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. So looking back, yeah, I think protecting on the Dracovic would have been better.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it's quite interesting that we had such a good advantage using the Zapdos Dynamax to his full potential and then taking out 3 Mons straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still not being able to close out the
Yeah.
game.
So
Um,
that is
yeah,
when we realize going fast may not be the way for us because the Dialga will come in the late game and just threaten the trick room mode, right?
correct.
But that I would say maybe it was good on them. They killed the fast mon and everything else is slower than Dialga. So
Correct,
they were
correct.
like in control. You need me to set up trick room for you, then you can then you can take advantage of it. But now I take down your oh, okay, yeah. So I took down your fast mon and now I'm the fastest thing over
Or even like
here.
I would say like the bulkiest and the mon that can like easily take KOs, right? It's kind of like a reverse sweep from Dynamax Dialga.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
I think
reverse sweep.
you
Yeah, I
know
think that's,
even if our I would say even if our Bikini is faster, it's still quite bad. Even
yeah.
if our Dracovic is faster, we still can't do important damage into the
Mhm.
Dialga.
Yep.
So on hindsight, like this Dynamax Zapdos could have been a bit too impulsive, and we didn't really consider that we still needed a lot of power to try and take down the Dialga. I guess at some point maybe we could go for the Airstream, like give Sandaconda an Airstream boost, but I think that might still not be enough.
Yep. Well said. So over here, we were just those conversations went by. We were like, I think Wigglytuff. I was controlling Wigglytuff. I was thinking, it's just not clicking. I'm just, we keep clicking to get the quick claw. Something's not going our way, and we're like, okay, he has done his job. Freeze all the information that we require. We have deduced almost all 6 of their mons that they regularly bring. We know the Dialga's moveset, being a special set, and Lifepart has revealed at least 2 of his moves at this point in time. So we're like, okay, we have shown in game 1, this team works well in trick room. Our team works well in trick room. That is the clearest answer to beat their team. So we're like, okay, let's go for it. Let's go for the trick room mode. So,
Correct, yeah. Set up trick room and let the Dynamax go to the Sandaconda. I think that's more important. The Sandaconda we prep both Steel Spike and Max Quick, so we should be able to stall the game well. A few very very quick notes for this third game. A lot of things happened. Number one, they were the ones that win game 2, so they had a choice to switch or not, right? So they decided to switch their slots. So we kind of debated, do they want to intentionally lead the Ditto to copy our Sneasel, right? So we also took a bit of time to think whether we want to switch our slots or not, but we were quite confident with this sort of like a fake out trick room play. On hindsight it might not be bad, but we just decided not to switch. So we did lead with Sneasel in our player 2 slot and the Mushana in the player 1 slot.
Yeah, so over here, we click trick room. So just for the info, a DC happened in the actual game 3. So here we are recreating the game. In actual fact, we click trick room and we went for fake out.
Yeah, so in hindsight, this is kind of like myopic in my end because like this is
It was so obvious.
that
Yeah,
we
it's so obvious. You know? Yeah, it's
so
very
obvious we
obvious.
want to fake out trick room. We can't taunt the lovely kids. So like their smart move is to go for quick blood, and they did go for it. So just well played on their end, I would say.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, like, I did think of that. That we did consider this like turn 1 fake out trick room idea, right? But we didn't consider that they would.
yeah, we didn't consider because they swap the positions, right? So we're thinking they're gonna go for something else.
Yeah, like they might lead with Sneasel instead
Exactly.
to try and fake out any mon, right? Then we could go for that speed tie and fake out the Sneasel so that the Sneasel doesn't taunt into our Mushana.
Yeah. So over here, Mushana in actual fact was asleep. Over here, we were just hoping, come on, wake up turn 1. It's time for our it's time for us to be lucky because in game 1, Wigglytuff had 3 turns of sleep, and we thought the RNG factor should be in our favor this time around. And over here, our sash, it broke our sash, and then we pickpocket the sash away. It is so important because right now, the Pheromosa cannot freely come in to take any hits.
Correct. And if we were to set up trick room, then we can try and force that Pheromosa to come in, right? Then, like we know that we can confidently take that 1 hit KO without being afraid
The sash.
for it staying on the sash and then do important damage back to us.
So here we just had to go for a Hail Mary damage. Taunt was useless. Fake out, we had I think triple Excel was it? Yeah.
IC win.
IC win. So there was no reason to click that, and so they clicked Ice Beam because we were already asleep. And then we woke up. Turn 1 wake up.
That was so clutch.
Yeah.
Like that was so good.
It's so important.
Very smart, I would say very smart to bring in the Ditto to copy our Sneasel. In case we still go to sleep, in case we are still asleep, right? Then whatever we switch in is slower than both Sneasel and the Jinx, and then the Sneasel can easily taunt or fake out into the Mushana, and the Jinx can just spam Lovely Kiss. So that trick room was so important for us.
Yeah. But knowing that the Sneasel came in, right now we were thinking, oh no, we can't max Sandaconda right now.
Correct.
Yeah, so we likely, and the Sneasel can fake it out, and the Jinx may just Lovely Kiss into any slot. So we had to just burn this turn of trick room. We just say, okay, we still have 3 more turns. Let's just make sure our Sandaconda doesn't go to sleep. That's the most important point right now.
Correct, and they do have that threat, right? Like they can choose. They can choose who to fake out and who to Lovely Kiss, and we can't make that gambit because the Mushana, I think maybe even if the Jinx is at -2, I'm not sure if this Moonblast will kill because the Jinx can be built to be bulky. We're not sure. The Jinx doesn't have a sash, and then we had a choice to either go for Moonblast or Hypnosis, and we don't want to risk that Hypnosis missing. So we went for the safe play of Protect.
Yeah, because firstly, we didn't want the Hypnosis because the Hypnosis may miss and they might have targeted our Mushana for the Lovely Kiss. So since both Mushana and Sandaconda were gonna be the fastest mon regardless what they do, so it's like, okay, let's just play safe, thus protect both. Whatever they do next, we will have we will go first, and then they did this.
We will always have the. Yeah, I think this was pretty smart. Like knowing that if they switch into the Dialga, then the Dialga can max on the same turn to contest our
Max.
Sandaconda's max. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a bit strange. Like, what if we just went for Hypnosis, right? On
Yeah.
hindsight, like it's quite okay. I would say, like, if we go for the Moonblast, then the Dialga doesn't take that much damage.
Yeah, but then if we Moonblast, it may have had a -1 special attack drop, which could have been in our favor. But I think over here, we spoke about it live. Not clicking Hypnosis there is so good for us, because if we have clicked Hypnosis and it hits the Dialga, they would have
Sort of play defense.
yeah, they will have to play defensively, still conserve the Dialga, and it just make things a bit more difficult for us, because then they save their max and we use our max, so it just it's going to go a long way by
correct.
not
I
clicking the
would
Hypnosis.
I would summarize that not clicking Hypnosis and not showing them that we have that option would kind of force them to max together with us, right?
Yeah.
And that's good, because our max will benefit us more. We're going for max quick to make all our mons bulky, and then the most they can do is try and steal spike or try and like max won't win, right? But still, we're always gonna get the upper hand
By the quick boost first.
Yeah, make our mons bulky before they move. So I think on hindsight, without clicking that Hypnosis, forces them to max, and that could be very, very good for us. Like Hakim is trying to say that if they don't max now and then they sort of conserve their max in the late game, then things might be bad for us since we commit to our Dynamax first.
It only works if that Hypnosis hits the Dialga switch in. If it didn't, they knew that we were clicking Hypnosis all the time. They may just switch it out, taunt our Mushana. That's when we committed to our max. That's why it will get a bit, it will get them saving their max would definitely have been trouble for us. Yeah, to put it simply.
Yeah. So what's interesting here is we did see that this Mushana on screen, it went for Protect, right? But that's because we went for Hypnosis in the actual game and it missed. So to simulate and try and recreate the game, we went for that Protect. And just so happens this Mushana is lucky at the wrong time. This Mushana actually got that double Protect in our recreation. So unfortunate.
So things weren't going my way, especially I was controlling both Mushana and Wigglytuff, not getting the Quick Claw. So far, Hypnosis has missed. So but if we manage to get Hypnosis, the important thing was if we get it, we will be in such a good spot. Because right now, once we had shown Hypnosis, they are on the back foot right now.
Correct. Because the Dialga is so threatened. Like, if the Dialga wants to just roll the dice and then go for an attack, if we go for the Hypnosis, then it loses important max turn, since we already forced it to max together with us. Right. So over here, some things happened in the game that had a disconnection.
Not yet. I think not yet. It's the next turn. Not yet.
Yeah, but true. But what's important here is that we know that the Liepard slot only has Liepard,
and
Ditto, and we killed
Pheromosa. It's Pheromosa.
And correct. We killed the Ditto. There's Liepard, and the Pheromosa doesn't have a sash.
Yeah.
So if we kill the Liepard here, if we maintain our turns of Trick Room, since we have 2 more turns right now, the Pheromosa is forced to switch in. Then we can easily go for max Quick or max Steel Spike. I think we will go for the Steel Spike since Quick is not super effective. Then immediately take out that slot and force a 2v1 against the Dialga. But they do a very interesting play here. I think the Dialga, Max Guard Copycat, right? Since we know that Dialga has Draco, Flash Cannon and Thunderbolt, that means that last move is Trick Room and Copycat will copycat the Trick Room. I think this is quite creative on their end. Very interesting. It kind of sort of caught us off guard, but I think things are still fine here.
So here it's not good. Their Copycat Trick Room caught us off guard. We have to admit that it does catch us off guard, because how do I put it?
Like our Trick Room ends and then they are always going to be the fastest, right? Especially with the Pheromosa coming in fresh.
The Pheromosa comes in fresh, and
it threatens
the damage that Dialga did to us. Although now we are at +2s per dev,
Correct.
is still, the Pheromosa still poses a threat.
Yeah, so at this point, I would say, like, I would think that they will want to stop Trick Room,
Trick
right?
Room,
Like,
yeah.
our Max Guard Trick Room seems so obvious.
Mhm.
Then, and Mushana is at +2 special defense, so it can potentially survive a very strong move, even if it's coming out from the Dialga. However, the Pheromosa did reveal U-turn,
and it's
and
stab
U-turn, correct, and it does threaten into the
Mushana.
Mushana, so we were thinking, let's make them choose. If we go Trick Room, it should still be fine. And then we use our Sandaconda to take down the very important slot of Pheromosa to force a 2v1 against that Dialga slot.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so
you have to remember also, if we still have Trick Room up, the Hypnosis pressure will still be there, so they have to be afraid. But over here, as you see,
they kind of made the right read. They reviewed the last move of close combat.
yeah, and they doubled in on the our Max Sandaconda, and we were like, although we had our +2 per dev boost, apparently it wasn't enough, and
True.
yeah.
I think I would stand by this play, talking about this match again back in this post commentary. I think if we didn't if they targeted the other way around, right, and we didn't max guard, then the Pheromosa will always be the fastest on the field. We still had because this Mushana is like a wall that they couldn't take down. So we still had our Victini and our Zapdos in the back. And that could be fine, right? All we needed to do is take down this Pheromosa. Yeah. So I do stand by not going for the Tower Protect. We give them not going for the Max Guard Trick Room play. My bad. So we do give them the choice, right? Do they want to kill our Sandaconda or do they want to let Trick Room get set up?
So over here, we know that we have Moonblast, and there's no Protect on the Pheromosa. So they had Quick Guard, Close Combat, Icy Wind, and U-turn. It's a free kill with the Moonblast. We can take 1 KO and force a 2v1 right now. Although with Sand, Dracovic is gonna be faster, we had to be very careful right now. Yeah.
Correct. At this turn, there's actually 2 turns of Sand left, so it's quite iffy. Like, the Dracovic is the fastest on the field in this Trick Room environment, right? So I'm forced to go for the Protect, and they do know that they can't take down the Mushana realistically, so I think it makes sense for them to go for the Draco Meteor into the
straight KOs, straight KOs force the 1v1.
I took some time to think about this. I was wondering why they didn't choose Raw of Time, but I think it might be quite bad for them. Since if they go for Raw of Time, they have to recharge, right? Then I think Draco Meteor seems to be sort of the better move option, and I think that's okay. However, the Draco Meteor is actually bad for them in this scenario.
In this scenario, Mushana has been set up. The thing is, Mushana was set up so well to stand in front. So right now,
right now we are up 4v3 with 1 more turn of Sand. So this Draco Meteor into Dracovic is so obvious. So I have 2 choices. One, to kind of pray that the Draco Meteor would miss. Then we pray that we hit the Hypnosis, right? So that's what we went for. So I was thinking, do I go for the 60% Hypnosis or do I go for the 30% Double Protect? And I didn't go for the Double Protect.
We were banking on I was clicking the Mushana, so I was thinking Quick Claw didn't activate, Hypnosis didn't hit for 3 turns right now, so it was like, come on, it's 60%, it's not 40%, it's 60%. The roll will come, the roll will have to come, but unfortunately, yet again, it's just not my day for to get a sleep turn on them. But this wasn't bad. This wasn't bad.
This is not too bad, right? Like, looking at the HP bars, I think the Dialga is actually kind of doing more damage to itself with the life
recoil,
then it can then it can do damage to us. So I think it's a very iffy item choice to put Life Orb on the Dialga, but really retake those. So right now, I think we had a choice to go for Hypnosis again or Moonblast, but the time was running short. So the decision was to always go for the Moonblast.
Correct.
Additionally,
Life Orb
whoever
recoil.
is correct, and whoever is behind the Dialga won't appreciate the Moonblast because the Urshifu doesn't have a sash. The Jinx, if it like is quite frail, then 2 Moonblast should take out the Jinx, and we do know that they should not want to switch out any mons right now.
Correct. And they should know that we will not switch out. You know, we will not switch out. This Mushana is gonna sit there, gonna do damage and take little damage from them. So they switch in, we deal damage to them, the less HP they have, and we will still win in the end. So we had them pinned right now.
Yeah, excellent, right? I think we didn't really consider this. Like at that turn that we were like panicking whether to protect the Sandaconda or not. Then like at this stage we already felt super confident. Like wow, I think this can be an end game that we can close out. All we need to do is click Moonblast.
Yeah. So here we were still thinking, what are they gonna do? They don't have protect. Are they gonna switch? You know, we're thinking, what if they switch? We try to get another Hypnosis. Then we were, seeing how my luck was, still debating, should we click it or just deal damage? Yeah, so maybe
I think
click Hypnosis here.
at one point, I think this is the point because this is the last turn of Trick Room. So they could make an advanced read, right? Wow,
and switch.
Yeah, and switch into Urshifu, and then the Urshifu can threaten the Wicked Blow into the Mushana. Yeah,
but this was even better. They
they didn't switch out.
Yeah, they didn't switch out. So right now it encourages us to just keep clicking Moonblast. You know?
The Trick Room ended.
The
Trick Room ended. So it's very clear for us to go Trick Room again.
Trick Room.
Because if they try to be cheeky here and then switch out the Dialga into Urshifu, and we don't click Trick Room, and we do something wrong, like we click Hypnosis for some reason, then the Urshifu can threaten the KO, and they will be up 3 against 2. So I think clicking the Trick Room makes more sense.
Click room. Exactly. Say it perfectly. There was no reason for us to, not click Trick Room right here, because if they switch out, whoever comes in, we are still up in the HP count. So
correct. I also did consider like, maybe they reviewed Jinx, right? Maybe they could switch Dialga into Jinx, then Jinx could take out into Mushana, and I'm quite happy that I actually prepared this Protect on the Mushana. The Protect helps in 2 ways. Number one is to let the if we are slow and then the Mushana kind of is forced to switch in, then at least we can protect to sort of stall an important turn like from Dynamax or something. Then the second thing that's very important about this Trick Room is that we know that Liepard carries Copycat, and the best way to kind of stop Trick Room is to either go for Copycat or Encore onto the Mushana. So it was a choice between Protect or Helping Hand. If we go for Helping Hand, I believe the Liepard will copy the Helping Hand. Then if we go for Protect, then it solves all the problems because Liepard cannot go for Encore into us, and then if Liepard kicks Copycat, it will Copycat our Protect, and it will fail. So I really like this Mushana set, and it really clutched the win for us.
The Moonblast, the choice of Moonblast, although not step, is so important because we identified that their mons were very weak to Fairy. They had Liepard, they had Urshifu. Even this Dialga is Fairy, Dragon Steel. Then there's the Jinx, which is a psychic type. They all either immune or resist psychic moves. So it's a really good choice, good pick to have Moonblast to do neutral damage, and especially the super effective damage on the dark types. And this goes to show the freeze idea was super important for us, and the pickpocket ability choice, stealing that sash away. It gives us so much momentum, so much confidence to just click attacks, knowing they can't protect and just taking up KOs because their mons are so frail that we are confident to deal Okos.
Yeah, very well said. I think I really enjoy this format of a best of three multi-battle where we collecting information is very, very important to try and close out the game and overcome the opponent with a 2-0 or a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, although here the timer went to 0 already, which naturally means it's our win. Just to be safe, switching into someone from the back. If they're gonna click sucker punch. Yeah.
Or even just wicket blow.
Yeah, just
then
I mean
it
Moonblast
wouldn't-
will take the KO, but if they were to click sucker punch, we would have went down. So yeah.
Yeah, so what a win. Yeah.
Yeah, what a win. So just to let's freeze on this screen. So this was the matchup. That was our play-by-play analysis. Unfortunate that the stream didn't go live, but we hope that this made up for it. We went for Team Italia. Just football, things don't go your way. Just stream didn't go your way. But no pineapple on pizza. That's all we care. Yeah.
So I think there were a lot of ups and downs. I think we really played the best that we can, and I think this win was it kind of shows that the prep and how we played and how we gathered information really paid off.
Yep.
And I think this was quite I would say quite like a win that makes me feel like all the effort we put in really paid off.
Yeah, especially I think over here I know Andrew may not be speaking over this VOD, but the three of us coming together, prepping for this, the three of us playing through the game collectively, looking back, it was I really love the synergy, really love the energy that we have. We look out, we have different things that we looked up on, and that is just so important. Like Evan making the reads, they're gonna max card. Yes, that was Evan. And then for me, maybe it was during prep. I say okay, let's use Wigglytuff. Then for Andrew, he was thinking, hey, maybe Trick Room here is a lot better. We make some. He had his own reads. We trust each other. So moving on from last week, what we're gonna say is it's all about family, guys. It's all about family.
Well said. Yeah, I think that's all we have. And I think I'll proceed on to an outro.
Yep.
Forza Campioni!
Yep. See you in the finals. And that we are looking at you. What's the team name? Sorry.
That's the Las Vegas Primarinas.
Yeah, we look at you, Las Vegas Primarinas. Look out what we're gonna bring for you. Ciao.
Alright, peace.
Peace.